Let's go to universe. Before we get into it, we're back at Flyby Podcast. Flyby Podcast has been what? I don't know. It's been a minute. What, 4 years?
Yeah,
About
man.
4 or 5 years. He was my first guest on the Flyby Podcast. Life happened, but we're back. Revamped Flyby Podcast with my man SouLe. So there's a running joke, if y'all know, when I first introduced, or when I first interviewed you, I saw your name. I thought it was SouLe.
Oh yeah. I'm
gonna keep that. That is my story. I thought he was being French with it. I didn't put two and two together, but he had texted me. He said it's pronounced SouLe. So okay, you got jokes. Okay.
I go through it all the time.
Yeah. But nah, it's great to have you, man. I haven't seen you in a minute.
I know, bro.
It's been a while. How's everything been?
Man, everything
especially, we haven't talked, like I said, we haven't talked since the pandemic.
I know.
So how did the pandemic affect your life in general?
Oh man, it really slowed us down, business wise, especially performing. Which it slowed everybody down.
Yeah.
Right? So not just us, but it really took a damper, but we happen to be starting to get back out,
Right.
Like notions having, like, we were like on the way up.
Y'all were moving. I remember y'all were moving. Man. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the pandemic, and then a stop, like nothing. So I was like, okay, well, we can at least work on the album.
Right.
While this is going on. So that's what we've been doing.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely get into the album you got coming out. Where for those that don't know, because I don't even think I asked you on the first time, where did the name, which I'm thinking I'm putting two and two together, why you came up with the name SouLe, but where did that originate from? How did you put the two together? Was it just, the soul of the music, and you're like, man, I'm just gonna put it with my name, call it a day, instead of going with LeSean? Like,
well, for a while, I mean, I got 2-3 projects out by name LeSean. And I was talking to my wife, Black Diamond. She was like, well, people say you got a lot of soul and you do mostly soul music.
Right.
And your name is LeSean, so why don't you just merge two together and call yourself SouLe? So she's the one that came up with the name. So
smart man, what do you give the wife to grab?
Yeah. She came up with the name SouLe. So I went on with it, and plus I wanted to, kind of get away from, because when people know you from personally, I'm saying,
right, okay,
it's really hard to be like, oh, this is blah blah blah, this is LeSean. Well, I know LeSean, I went to school,
right.
Now it's like people, you get more backing, especially from others, like other states and whatever, when people don't know you so personal, So I was like, okay, well, I'll go by SouLe.
Yeah. Now, did you start with the band, or was it? Were you a solo? You were a solo act first. How long were you? How long were you?
For a while. Yeah, I was solo for a while.
Okay.
And then this man came to me with a James Brown tribute, which I still wasn't going by SouLe then. It was just he wanted to do a James Brown tribute, and I was like, all right, we can do that. And then the band wanted to stick around.
So how did you get the band together? So you and the band was together before the James Brown, before the man?
It was like a 10-piece band that had to be put together for that particular show, for the James Brown tribute.
Oh,
the very first one.
Oh,
I didn't know any. Well, I knew some of the music.
Right. But it was you by yourself, and then the guy came up to you and said, "Hey, I want to put the show together."
Right.
Then you had to go and get.
Yeah, I had to find the pieces.
For the band.
Yeah, and he found some pieces too. But yeah, that's how it merged.
How did So how many members do you have in the band?
In the band, the Superband now is 8.
It's 8, and originally started with 10, or has it always been?
Well, with JB, he had double instruments with
Right.
2 drummers and all that stuff.
Right.
But I always like the sound of those big bands, and I mean, yeah, now like it's 8 members, but I mean, we have had more horns, and so it has gone up to 10 too.
It has gone up to.
Yeah.
Okay, with the James Brown tribute, man came up to you. Now, when he came up to you and said he wanted to do the James Brown tribute, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
I don't think I want to do it.
And why? Why is that?
Because I was mostly known for doing ballads. I was more the Sam Cooke, Marvin. I didn't really think of myself as like funk.
Right. Okay, got you.
But especially with dancing and all that stuff, you can't just do sing James Brown.
James Brown do all that.
Mr. Dynamite,
Right. You gotta have some energy.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm a ballad singer, which crazy. I can sing anything, but I was more comfortable with it.
Right.
So, Black Diamond once again.
Credit to White.
Once you get out of the box, and try it out. And then I was like, okay, well, I knew some James Brown songs already, but I hadn't really dug so deep into it.
Right.
So I did, and it came out. It wasn't easy, I'm gonna say that, but it flowed. It really flowed, man. I really picked up with it, and I've been having a ball with it.
Yeah, I remember because I went to go see you, and it was, the show. If y'all haven't listened, that show was unreal. I was like, okay, my man can get down. Oh, okay then. Now, what was your first show? Because obviously your first show, which might have been a little rocky just because it was the first time you're doing it, and then of course you always get better. 5th show, 6th show, it starts coming clean. Yeah. Now, with your first show, was there nerves? Were you like, man, I don't know how the crowd is going to react to me? Are they going to be accepted? Because there's some diehard. Listen, you do James Brown, you better do James Brown right. You can't come in half-ass. You know what I'm saying? You got to be clean. You got to be tight with everything. Did you feel the pressure?
Oh yeah.
When you started it?
Yeah, and most of the pressure was myself,
because you knew how he was.
Yeah, I knew how he was, and I got a lot of respect for the entertainers that came before me.
Right.
So like the respect, I always wanted to have respect there, whether it's James or Sam or Marvin, Temps, OJs. I always wanted to make sure that I was up there, performance wise with them, So that's why I try to give, leave it all on the stage. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I've really felt the pressure. But I didn't go out there trying to do something that I wasn't going out there trying to be James Brown.
Right.
Say that.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah, I didn't want to be James Brown. Oh, this is somebody that does a
rendition of James.
Right, yeah, rendition
of James
Brown.
Yeah.
So even with the Superband, it's like, oh yeah, we know that's not James Brown or a member of the family or something like that. It's just someone that really admires his work and what he did, and he can do it, and and keep it tasteful, and people don't look at it like, oh man, this is some kind of joke.
Right.
Because if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
You gotta take the craft seriously.
Yeah, you can't just go out there singing and snap your fingers. That wasn't James.
Right.
You got to go out there and dance, do the splits, all that stuff.
Whole
screams
man.
And all that. Yeah, man.
Now the band, when you came to the band with the idea, or not the idea with, hey, we're gonna be doing this James Brown tribute. Did some of the band members kind of be like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna do it, but did they have the nerves too? Is what I'm saying.
They were pretty excited.
Oh, they
they were actually pretty excited.
That's probably because they weren't playing James Brown. They were just playing the instruments. They said, hey, we can do the instruments. We good. We can play the music.
But it's some hard stuff you really have to like really listen to. You know what Maceo and all of them did. Clyde. You know all the musicians that played with James.
Right.
You know, because it's some stuff in there that's like you think you hear it, but it's not correct. You know, so you really got to listen to it. But yeah, man, yeah, they were actually excited because you know nobody really does.
Nobody really does it. Now, what did y'all go just in the North Carolina area?
Oh no,
to perform, man. Where all did y'all go performing?
It started off here.
Okay.
In Durham, and matter of fact, at the Haytime.
Okay.
At the Haytime, and man, since then we have been blessed that we've been able to go to different states and hopefully overseas soon.
Yeah. That's wild. That's yeah. Like I said, when I went and saw the show, I was like, oh, wow. I was like, okay. I knew he was bad, but I didn't know my brother was like this. Speaking of your band members, how many? You said you had 8 in them.
Mm-hmm.
How are they? Go down the line. Who plays what? I know you got a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got a sax. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about the wife later on. We'll save a special part for her. But other than that, tell me about the band members.
Well, a lot of people don't know that SouLe the Superband is actually me and the wife.
Okay. Oh,
it's a business. SouLe the Superband.
Okay.
See, so like, and we know musicians are basically. I'm a musician myself. You know, everybody can't be at every show.
Right.
So,
understood.
You know, she's a band by herself. You know,
right.
So she's like, well, SouLe the Superband is me and you, but we can always wanted that thing of, oh, I would love to have my own band.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some musicians that play behind us. So it works both ways. SouLe the Superband is me and her, but SouLe the Superband is also whatever musicians that we get to play behind us. Yeah. It's the Superband. Whoever plays behind us or plays with us, it's the Superband.
It's the Superband. So y'all interchange, like you say, because musician life is busy. Y'all got your own projects y'all want to do. Probably singing with other people. I know you did over, I think it was when was it? That was last year when you helped out with did backup vocals for Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh yeah, the Earth, Wind, and Fire.
So
Man.
So I know you got stuff like that. Now when it comes to finding the band, because like you said, some people might have something going on. You might have to, I got to plug you. This person can't come in because he got something going on, so I got to be quick to plug. That is, how do you go about finding if you know you need a drummer, but the drummer you were going to get is gone, is got something going on, and you got to find another drummer? Do you already know these people that you're going to get in, or do you go on, I don't want to say Indeed, but do you go on Facebook music pages, or go down Instagram and see people that play instruments, play music, that's been in a band, and be like, hey, I got da 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 da. How would you like? Is that how you?
Most of the time, because mostly my musicians, they pretty well known around the area too. Okay. Because some of them came from the area, they've been here for a while. Right. So I'll ask them for one, because I always not just want somebody that to come in and play, but the chemistry has to be right too. Right. And because all you need is like one
little mess, mess up the whole thing.
That's right. So North Carolina Central really helped out because there's some incredible musicians that come from out of North Carolina Central, and most of them have played at Central.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay then. Oh. Well, there you go, guys. Go to listen and see Central get all the. Listen, I didn't know about it. All I know about Central, besides the HBCU, is that is one of the top law programs. I mean, we all know all HBCUs 9 out of 10 times got a great band anyway. Shout out to the Marching 100 mom and my sisters, alumni Florida A&M. But with, you said most of them came here. either came here to Durham. The musicians, some of them either came here or already been here.
Some of them came here and just because musicians, we got to travel to make sure we're in the right direction, we're in the right place.
Right. Because that's what I was going to ask you is Durham. So Durham is known for music, as in that type of the soul, the funk, ballads. Because I'd never really known for a lot of musicians to come out of Durham.
Man, it goes way, man. Durham has had some pretty nice talent that's came out. You ever heard of well, not Durham. I'm saying North Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
Like Gerald Alston of the Manhattans.
Okay,
North Carolina. The Modulations are out of Durham. It's a bunch of groups that were on. Well, Modulations were on Soul Train back,
back in the days,
and but a lot of people don't really know because they don't really like dig into the history, especially us musicians.
Right.
We just look what's current.
Right.
But like to knowing the history, like Clyde McFadden's from Durham, Durham has a lot of history in musically.
Do you think there's gatekeepers in the industry that keeps a hold on artists in Durham? Because I feel like now, especially now, I can see maybe the internet's been out maybe 20 years now, 20-some years. I can see pre-internet. It would have been hard to get your name out, especially even though Durham is big in a sense. If you're from North Carolina, you know Durham.
Right.
But outside, people see Durham, and Durham isn't as big. Do you see that there's a lot of, like I said, gatekeepers that hold them back from here? Because it's so, well, people on the outside see it as so small, so they don't take the time. Because like I was saying, pre-internet, it might have been hard trying to find. I'm not going to go to Durham, North Carolina.
Right.
Not if you're from the outside, from LA, I'm not going to Durham, North Carolina, unless if I'm really into the, you know what I mean? If you're really into the soul, and you're going to go to those clubs and find somebody. Now with the internet, I mean, you can go on the internet now and promote yourself. So do you feel like it's still hard, even though with the internet and you can promote yourself? Do you still feel like the gatekeeper still kind of, it's Durham, let's
make sure I'm understanding to my gatekeepers in Durham? That's
both in Durham and
outside.
Because in order for the outside to get in, they got to come here and talk to some people, and some people might not even say no.
I definitely think I'm not sure of the ones outside of Durham.
Right.
But inside, I have had that run in of and I've noticed them. There are some people that do have some power, some leverage.
Yeah.
That if they see you and you are like up and coming and you're good, they don't want you to be. They don't want you to step ahead of them in a way, And it's like we can all eat at this table, It's really not that hard.
Yeah.
So I have seen it, man. It's some people they just don't want to see you get to that next level, even though it could possibly help them out too
in the long run, if you really look at it.
Right. But when you go through that, it's like sometimes you're like, well, I don't even want to go back and get them now because they made it so hard, And then it's not everybody. It's not everybody, but there are a few people that makes it, because like me and Black Diamond, we really we started from the ground.
Right.
And
right.
even doing shows ourselves. And paying for everything,
Right.
And that's how it was. And to see the fruits of that hard labor coming up, is really good to see that bit. But it's hard, man. It's very hard, especially when you don't mess with. I'm trying to say this the right way.
Yeah, try to be politically correct with it. Right.
When you're not so in the the in crowd.
When you don't follow the norm.
Right. When you don't follow the norm,
you follow the norm, but you kind of stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Like you might go outside the lane for a little bit, and I'll dabble with it, but
right. I'm coming right back to my own lane. Yeah. It's really hard. Or it's harder.
Right.
But I mean, you just keep it moving, and what's for you, you will get.
Yeah. It's true. Now, is it hard to get on radio here locally? Because I know I did radio when I was at Elizabeth City. Shout out to Elizabeth City State University, Viking Pride. When I was doing the radio station on campus, we would get people, even the cat students on the yard that did music. We would put it on the radio on the station, even though it was local for Elizabeth City. It wasn't big, but still we would put them on the radio. Is it hard to do that here in Raleigh, Durham area? Because you got 97.5, you got 104.3. That's really all I really know. 107.7, but that's still the same as 104.3, almost the same. But is it hard to go to those stations and be like, hey, I got this song I want to play? How does that work in essence? Because like I say, with school, like I know you probably can go to Central radio station and hear and then and they'll put it on, because I mean they're not getting paid. They're getting paid, but they're not getting paid. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Compared to an actual radio station that's playing.
Right. And shout out to North Carolina Central's radio station.
Right.
Because my mom, she's a gospel singer.
Okay.
Gwen Troy and Troy Singers, which we have recorded, a lot of albums. And North Carolina Central has been one of those ones that have played us every day.
Right.
And first time I heard, man, I was like, oh, a song that I actually produced, my mom wrote, and hearing it on the radio, it blew my mind. But as far as 97.5 and 104 and stuff like that, I guess it's just having the right song, the right material of what they're looking for. But that also goes back to your own lane, because sometimes, and I'm not saying this about 97 or 104.
No, please. Please, we're not. This is just in general.
In general, yeah. Like you have to stay in your own lane, especially like if you are, and especially an artist that takes care of your music and your sound. You don't want to just be thrown into the normal sound that everybody listening to.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, I sing soul, but I'm not in the category of some of the other singers, that's
I see what you're saying.
So I guess it just depends on what they're looking for.
Right.
But yeah,
it is what it is. See, but you still need to get my man on the radio station.
Yeah, hey man, that would be great. That would be great. We're working on some stuff right now.
Listen, get my man on the radio.
97,
104.
Anybody.
We'll go 103.9, the gospel station. Listen,
man, I'll go to country.
Hey, we'll go country and rock. Listen, get my man on the radio station.
Yes.
So back to your wife. So I was first. How did y'all meet? First, how did y'all meet? And when did y'all decide to go ahead and say, hey, let's go ahead and do this? And what is it like? I know I'm throwing a lot of questions at you at one. And what is it like working with your business partner that also sings that is also your wife at the same time.
Okay.
I know I threw a lot at you.
And if I forget something,
I got you.
All right. So the first one you said, how did we meet?
How'd y'all meet? Yeah.
We met in the band, because I had just graduated from college.
Okay.
And I started singing with this band out of Durham.
Mm-hmm.
And they needed another female singer.
Right.
And they went out and they scouted some people. I didn't really know. I was already in the band.
Right.
So she joined the band and we performed together for some years.
Mm.
And we're on the road every weekend.
Right.
So I mean, going everywhere. Mm-hmm. So you naturally kind of,
because I mean you gotta have that chemistry and the energy to work, and it just
So at my first show we did, we were at UNC Chapel Hill. Mm-hmm. She told me her style, how she do her thing on stage. I'm like, all right, cool, but don't let me stop you from doing what you do.
Listen, because I'm gonna do me.
Yeah,
do you.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
And she actually helped me be a better performer myself.
Okay, right.
But I started. She joined the band that I was already in, and we performed like for years. Like every weekend, we were on the show. Mm-hmm. I mean, on the road together. Right. So that's how we
finally meshed. Now, did y'all both separate from the band together? Were y'all like when y'all were in the band together? Was it? I don't know. After so many shows, y'all finally she just came up to you, or you came up there and was like,
"Oh no, she didn't like me." No, she didn't like me. I'm just glad, but she didn't like me. Uh-huh. She was like, I was a ladies' man, and
I mean, the vibe is already, that's the vibe. I mean,
she saw the women, and the girls just come out.
Well, and I mean, you're a sharply dressed man. Mm-hmm. You listen. I don't think I've ever seen this man maybe once or twice in sweats and shorts, maybe with a t-shirt, maybe once or twice. Other than that, when I see this man is always clean. He going somewhere. Yeah. He might be going just to the store, but he going somewhere. He gonna look professional. So I can see that from her. I can understand that.
Yeah, man. She just knew I was like
right. Just thought you were a player. She just knew you were.
That's right. Well, she knew I was a player, man.
Right.
And especially seeing the girls that would come out to me after the show, or during the show. She was like, and and the dude, she do the same thing with her too.
Right.
But she, went out to me about it. I'm like, okay, well, I can't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
But so for a while she didn't like me, and then after we got to know each other, a little bit more, she understood where I was coming from and how it really was. Then that's how we kind of hooked up, and she wants to have the back seat.
Yeah. Okay. So, y'all are together for a while. Mm-hmm. So when did y'all decide to go ahead and go into business together?
Oh well, when we left that particular band that we managed at the end, we went out to do some sing with some other bands, out of the area. But it was like we wanted our own.
Yeah.
Because we saw things and we learned from those other bands, the do's and don'ts, Mm-hmm. So and we try to look at each other like we're good people. We like to, so if anybody was to perform with us or beside us, they'll have a very good understanding and a very good rapport with it. They can tell other people, because we try to treat everybody, we treat everybody with respect. You give it to us, we're gonna definitely get that. Yeah. So we wanted to go out and get our own,
mm-hmm.
and because especially when some bands were like, we didn't really like the direction it was going in. Mm-hmm. We just went out and got our own.
Yeah. So how is it working? Like, how is it working with your wife a two-part question. How's it working with your wife, who is your business partner? Mm-hmm. And the second part is that how do you separate your wife from the business aspect? If that makes sense. As in, because I know y'all are married, but how do y'all separate the business from the family life? Because I know with some people that are married or they're in a relationship with somebody that have a business together, you got to separate when we're talking business. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, you might have a heated argument over the business aspect. Mm-hmm. How do y'all make sure it doesn't spill over to the family aspect of it?
Okay, well,
because I would figure you have to, you gotta separate the two.
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of those gray
area, right?
So it's like being in business with her is great,
right.
She is like, now I do some things,
right, but she's
the business. Right. I'm more of the, not saying she's not creative, but I do more of the writing, and she's a great writer too, but playing the different instruments and doing the recording and stuff, right. The production stuff, like that's me. Mm-hmm. And I do some business stuff too, right. But her, it's like automatic. She
so basically you're saying you have no say so in the business.
No. No. See? I have a say so. Yeah, but it's like what she's good at.
Yeah,
I let her do because I know it's going to keep the ball rolling.
Right.
So I ain't gonna put my foot in the door and then I mess some stuff up.
Right.
I know what I can do
and what I can't. Right.
Yeah, and so being in business with her is good. Yeah. I wouldn't trade it.
That's good. Now I know you got an album coming out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When was the last album you put out first?
The last album I was it was some years ago.
Okay.
And those were mostly I think that was a single. But that was when I was making a transition from LeSean to SouLe.
Right. Okay. Right.
And that was a pretty hard transition because from doing ballads and then you can still do ballads when you're doing funk, but it was really kind of hard. But everybody, all the musicians, helped me out and with that transition, and it's been pretty smooth. I didn't want to just, as soon as I got the band, I didn't want to just say, okay, we're gonna do this album and then we come out with some trash.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take my time with it. Still doing shows, so everybody is locked in, everybody knows each other, But and then I was like, okay, now it's time to work on an album. So,
and it was that over the kind of the pandemic time frame when you was like, I got all this time now.
Yeah.
Now it's
when
God really just shut us down and said, y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all are gonna stay at home with y'all's feelings. Y'all better find yourselves. Y'all better find yourselves.
And it was some real soul searching stuff,
Right. Yeah. No, trust me.
Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? I gotta make this change. So but that was the time when I was like, we're gonna do this album.
Okay, now the album is Funkin', Funkin', Funkin'. Okay.
Yeah.
Confusion. I was like, I better make sure I say it right. I don't want to think it, but Funkin'.
Yeah.
Confusion.
Yeah, Funkin' Confusion.
So what's the album about? How many tracks you got?
Oh shoot. Now we didn't want it to be super long.
Right.
But now we pretty much we're on 8, maybe 7 to 8 now. We could take something off, could add some, but that's where we are now. Funkin' Confusion is about the things that's going around locally. Like state-wise, United States-wide, USA, and worldwide. That's how we wrote this stuff, and personal.
Okay.
Personal. So that's how it's split up.
Okay, then. Now, what with the album, what direction did you go with this album? Where did you get your inspiration from for this album to go in that direction?
A little James.
Okay.
A little James Brown.
Yeah.
Because when you've been doing James Brown for so long, you know, it's some gonna rub off, you know.
Yeah.
Sly.
Okay.
Was a huge Sly Stone fan, you
Right.
know. So those were my main ones. Yeah, Sly and James. Okay. But some stuff it just came to me, you know. Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
they bring it to me.
Listen.
Thank you. But
right.
And some I don't know where, you know, it comes from sometimes. It just flows through me, man. Yeah.
Right. Now I know y'all got a show coming up.
Yeah.
May
7th.
May 7th. Tell us a little bit about that, where it's at.
Yeah, it's going to be in Cary, North Carolina, at the USA baseball field. That's called the Fest in the West.
Fest in the West. Fest in the West, peoples.
Yeah, we'll be on there from 2:30 to 5.
Okay. Yeah. And y'all are doing the James Brown.
We're doing the James Brown and plus some others. I mean, I know Lady Diamond, she's going to be doing some Tina. Tina Turner.
Okay.
The band is going to be jamming out for a while too. So you're going to get the Superband is going to be hitting you with a bunch of music.
Right.
Black Diamond is, and then I'm going
to. Okay. Before we get out of here, we got a couple questions before we get out of here. One, when do you expect the album to be out? Do you have a time frame yet or a date yet?
I'm just gonna say this year. We want it to be out this year.
Right.
I had so many things coming up.
Right.
Especially with the Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And then it's getting hot outside.
Yeah, man. You got family stuff, and you got other bands.
Right.
Big shout out to CJ Baker. He's the one that they got me for this Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know, tribute. And it's a great man. Great, but you heard the band.
Listen. I'm telling you, boy. Hey, these boys be putting on a show. I'm telling you. If you love music, I'm telling you, y'all be putting on a show.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Hopefully this year. I'm trying to keep it like this year. But I definitely keep, you know, on our social media and stuff. Keep you updated.
Okay then. You know, I was gonna bring this up. Listen, for y'all that didn't know, yes, he's a songwriter, plays all sorts of instruments. Obviously, you know, he's a singer, producer, but he is an actor. He is an actor. Tell him how the show, how it was a movie. Was it a movie or was it a doc kind of almost?
Yeah, it was like a doc
movie, doc play.
Yeah.
Tell them about that, where they can find it. How was it? I mean, listen, I tried to get you on a project. Wifey said no. We know why the wifey said no, but you was committed though.
Hey man,
you was committed.
And I thought I almost had it.
You almost had that. You read a line. I was like, you ain't playing that. You got another thing coming, brother.
But now, she would let me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, that was that happened in Maryland.
Yeah.
That was about the Tina Rama show that was going on back in the early 60s. You know, 50. So. That was I played a performer named Jimmy Funk.
Okay.
Which was crazy about is he was it was based off of James Brown.
Oh wow. So, I'm telling you, God working is the way it needs to work.
Yeah, man. So you know, as soon as matter of fact, I auditioned for it over the phone. I had to sing some stuff. And every song that the producer wanted me to, you know, that she wanted to hear because she was a James Brown fan, I already knew it. Right.
So you already had one leg up. You God will work. Yeah, he'll put things he will put things where he needs to put things. Man, I'm telling you.
So I got the part on the spot And I had a great time filming that up in Maryland, and I can't wait to do it again.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Give them your social media, where they can find you guys at, social media platform, all that good stuff.
Okay. On Instagram, it's number one Superband Music. Get us up on Facebook, SouLe The Superband, and Twitter, Superband Music. But if you just type in SouLe and the Superband, all that stuff is gonna come up.
Google it.
Yeah.
Google my man. It's popping up everywhere. You hear me? Popping up everywhere.
Yeah, man.
Well, my guy, I appreciate you as always. I can always pick up the phone, hit you up.
That's right,
trying to do this, trying to do that. And you're always, hey, you let me know what time, when, we'll figure it out and we'll get it done. Like I say, you got me back out to doing Flyby Podcast, the revamped version.
That's right.
You were my first guest on the original. You
That's
were my
right.
first guest on the revamp. So I truly appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate it.
Look, and I know y'all gonna have more work coming out. I already know how good y'all are. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. May 7th at the Cali USA baseball field. They'll be on from, you said
2:30 to 5.
2:30 to 5. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yo, this is my guy. Yo, this is Flyby Podcast again. One of the smoothest brothers I've ever met in my life. Yo, this man's drifty on another point. I appreciate you, my guy.
No problem, brother.